Mark Wilf said it's not just one move, and I said my feeling was it was closer to every other move than it was only one move. But he did do some good things. But I feel that Rob is a good guy. I don't know that when we were at talking to interviewing Mark Wilf, and he didn't rule out the fact that Rob could be the guy. Going forward, I think that. And if I'm Rob, because Rob survived everything,
right?
If I'm Rob and I don't want to move, making the bad deals work, you can keep your job. Making them work financially, you keep your job. If you make the move that's bad, then you lose your job. So Rob has been a survivor through everything. He goes back to 1999. I mean, he's been here through everything. So he's a really good. If you're going to do this, first of all, you shouldn't do this when they did it this late. But if you do it, then Rob's a good guy to get you to the other side of this.
Well, that raises an interesting point and a question in my mind is that this thing was this process for evaluating Kwesi was happening. Who knows when it started? How much of this was known and affects what you talked about, who they're going to bring in next potentially, and Rob Brzezinski if that happens. B, retaining Brian Flores. I mean, I'm sure he has had frustrations with some of what Kwesi has done, and maybe if they're saying, well, he's kind of on the way out here, hang around, or I don't know. Is that? Do you think is that a possibility that this was all shared and they're all saying, hey, don't everybody jump off the ship just yet?
I think the timing with Flores probably was more to do with the fact that when he didn't get the Steelers job, which is the best job in football, then he wasn't going to go be a defensive coordinator in Washington or something like that. But him not signing the contract when guys typically do, you could say that might have had something to do with, hey, I just don't know if I want to be, be around when, and I don't know, there could be some guys that, Flores got a lot of guys, and we talk about the guys that he got and that he wanted, but there could be guys, there's probably guys he got that he didn't, or they wanted that he didn't get. So, and he didn't, there was not a trust of, this guy knows what he's talking about. And so, or that Kwesi knew what he was talking about. So I could see that, but the next guy coming in, it's still it's a good job. I mean, this is ownership tries. I mean, ownership will give you the resources. The results aren't there in 20 some years of playoff wins and success, but they are. I would imagine they are good owners to work for because they are patient. They did take a chance on this Kwesi, and I don't think we're going to be seeing another analytics guy. I don't think we're going to be seeing another inexperienced backup from Cleveland coming in to build the team. So, who knew that an inexperienced backup from Cleveland couldn't build you a football team?
You did. You knew. When I started looking at this the whole weekend, and just you try figuring it out, and things come and go in your brain. But George Patton or
Payton? Yeah, George Payton.
Not Payton. The defensive guy that came from the Packers that got going.
Oh, Patton, Mike Patton.
Patton, mid-season. There was some infighting there between him and Flores because they're both defensive guys.